Hey, welcome back to my acoustic guitar channel. Scott Grove here with you with lesson number 24. We're moving along here. The last lesson I actually showed you how to play out of a A shape. Then put these fingers down for your 4, back up for your 5, or you could go A shape, then this shape, then backward to your F shape, then you can still use your F shape again, and then back to your regular chords. So I'm teaching you right now to play chords all over the neck, so you can not have to stay with the same voicings, which means, you know, something way up here is going to sound different if we're in like E. It sounds different than, you know, it sounds different. So if you have two guitar players, you can add some different things. It's never really cool for two guitar players to be playing exactly the same thing all the time, okay? Unless you have a high-strung guitar, which you don't know what it is probably, but it would kind of make everything sound like a 12-string deal. But you can do that this way too. So I'm going to show you another couple groupings of chord shapes that will allow you to walk all over the flippin' neck, including the ones I showed you before. Okay, so we'll be using F shapes, A shapes, D shapes, okay, F, A, D's, so all these different shapes to make things, and then you can combine them all, and then you can play from the top of the neck to the bottom of the neck, and all over the place. So I'll come up here like I usually do, and we'll start on one of them, get our 1, 4s, and 5s, which is always best to get. Okay, so it doesn't matter much what your picking hand does, it's just a matter of finding out how to make these chords. Okay, this one, wherever you want to play an F chord, we're going to get our 1, 4s, and 5s, so it just kind of gets you around. Okay, you already found out how to do these A shapes, and remember the G string names the chord, so that's a C. And 2 ahead of whatever it is always going to be your 5. So here's your 4 chord and your 5. Okay, so we're going to use a G chord, but it's going to be an F shape. Okay, that way you can play it anywhere you want it. So play your F shape, but bring it up here to the 3rd fret and G. Okay, so you can even flatten out just your 1 finger and take it up to the 5, 4, and 1 is just that simple. Okay, but if you do this shape, and you go to the C using your A shape with 1 finger, to 5, okay, so same type of thing, 1, 4, 5. Do that and make sure it's correct. So no matter where you use that, let's go to A with the F shape. Okay. Okay, what we did before on the previous lesson, you can do that once you go to these shapes. Okay, so you got your 1, here comes your 4, 5, 4, Now we can actually add 1, 4, back to 1. Now we can actually add a D shape. Okay, there's D. Move it up 2 frets. Okay? So that's going to be the one we're going to work with next, is the D shapes. Okay, so we've noticed that the F works great going to the D shape, A shape, F shape, A shapes, Fa, F, A. Okay, so now we can do D shape and then F, F. This was the doof. So let's go ahead and do D. And now an F shape, which is going to be actually in the G position, because it's going to be D, G, A. That's going to be our Louis or whatever. So our 1 position using the D shape. We just happen to be in D right now. So there's our 1. Now the F shape. G, C, right there. Now to go to the 5 chord, of course, just go 2 frets ahead. We can go right there for the D instead of having to come all the way back here. Okay, so check this out. This gets you moving and you'll see what I'm talking about, the different shapes. So here's D, G, and A. When I finished, I could just drop that down. That could be the 1 again. And then do this shape, and then do this shape, and then do... Okay, so check this out. D shape goes with the F shape for the 4, F shape for the 5, and the A shape for the 1. Now, A shape for the 1, now D shape for the 4, D shape for the 5, now back to F shape for the 1, now F shape for the 1, and just flatten that out and you're back to the A shape. 4 and 5, and now the D shape. So we went the entire length of the neck. Okay? That is all the flipping way. And we never repeated any chord. We repeated the chords per se, but they were, every single one was a different voicing. Okay, so you got 1 in the shape of D, 4 in the shape of an F, and then move that F again, then flatten out that. So now you know we're going to do the A shapes. Now we're going to use the word add, A shape, D shape, D shape again for add, now F. Back to your 1. So now Fa, F, shape, A shape, A shape, back to the D. If you have a cutaway guitar, you can do it again. D shape, F shape, okay, so you can use those all over the guitar. Now this is something that you will have to just analyze and practice all over the place. I did this on my other channel, but it is such a great lesson to just simply learn. Okay? You can do this with pretty much anything. Think it through. You have an E chord. You know A is next, and then your 5, and then the one I taught you a couple lessons ago, which is actually kind of a C. Then there's E, then A is an F shape, and 5, flatten it out. There's your E again. There's your 1. We're calling this a D shape. So 1, 4, 4, D shape, 5, now F shape, and we go F shape and A shape, and 5, and D shape. Okay, so you can go everywhere with these things. That's the beauty of it. Okay, so you don't have to stay in the same place. You can do all of these different voicings. That's all they're called, different voicings. So you can make the second instrument. You got this guy over here playing A, D, and E, going D, back to A, to E, okay, A, D, and E, okay, A, D, A, E. Now you can find A, just go up here and do an A with using a D chord. The B note, or the B string, dictates the name of the chord, A note, so, and then after A, the D shape, D, F, F, doof, that's what I have to call it to remember it, is D, F, then D, F shape again for my 1, 4, 5s, but we can do mandolin sounds. It's just the way we play it. So he's going, and then I'll bring the other sounds in, or the other voicings. So guitar sound. Now say that was still going on, you could do okay, so okay, so it's just cool little stuff like that. And if you're in this, like we just did, instead of, you can go. Okay, so you can change all the chords. Keep thinking. Okay. If you want to use different shapes, use them all over the place. You'll find they all fit together and they go all the way around. It doesn't always have to be add A, D, D, or A, like I showed you this D, D, D. It just adds an extra note, which is fuller, or A, C shape, which is D again. Okay, it's just an extension of the D shape, and the one I showed you, an extension of the D shape, which becomes a C shape, oddly enough. They are all connected and can be reconfigured to become all kinds of things. Okay? They're kind of like the, what do you call those? Mighty Morphin Power Ranger? No, you actually got the, what is that there? Where all the vehicles turn into robots. You know what I'm talking about, with Optimus Prime and all them. I've got a niece that loves Optimus Prime. She's in love with him. Somehow, she's 14, still in love with him. Okay? Transformers in disguise. Okay? And again, just not just thinking that, but think of E everywhere. Here's E. 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 They're everywhere. It can be E. 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 Okay? There's just so many ways you can do it. Here, here, all the same ways. Or here. Okay? Just all kinds of places you can use it. So use all of these shapes now to find all your chords. It'll take you a little bit to get them all, but go A, the full way. And what's my next A? I can do it this way, which if I think about it, I can do the whole this, and then an A here, and do it all the way with all of them. There's D. Okay, here's D, fuller, D. See, if you use your pinky on the one that looks like an A, it shows you where you can make a bar chord or the F shape. So everything has a place that lets you know which is just part of an entire bar chord, which is just an E chord with a capo. Okay, and then so they go everywhere. So challenge yourself to try to get all these right in different places, but using all those chords I showed you, very basic chords that you already know, but in different places, and it will tie the entire neck together for you in no time at all, because you'll use all these little different things, and you can add all the stuff we learned back in the early 5 lessons where I showed you all kinds of little licks to play in every single key, and then you're well on your way. There's just nothing else stopping you. Okay, because you've got so much covered. So there you go. I mean, that is just as cool as it gets. And there are certain songs that just require that, like here's A. See, they require that kind of thing. So you're an A, and it just adds this little A suspended 4. Then the D slides up to the 5 chord. Okay, so you've heard these songs a million times, but 1, 4, or 5, but we use that different shape. It has to be that way because it's played that way. Everybody knows this when they're pros. You're just getting a very quick introduction to it and kind of seeing how all this works. It's like sticking your toe in the pool and testing the waters. Okay, so do that. Do it other places just so you get a feel for it. Okay? It doesn't have to be in the right key. A is the right key, but okay? So that is worth its weight in gold because it gets you into the big boy chords. A lot of people never know those chords their entire life. Even though they are very regular chords, they don't know where to put them. You get people like George Strait and Alan Jackson and stuff that just hold that guitar. Alan Jackson actually knows how to play a couple chords, so they go ahead and let him plug in. George Strait, I think he's plugged in, but just kind of in his ears. I don't think they let him play it through the sound system. He just kind of gives himself a note in his ear. And all my exes live in Texas. You know, just to get himself started, but the crowd don't hear that chord because all the guy does is rest his arm up here. Okay, so you are way ahead of all the famous people already if you've watched all these lessons. So we're going to throw lesson 25 at you, just so I can get everything up to a relatively normal number. I like to do 5 lessons at a time, but having done the intro, it always keeps it behind one, so you end up stopping at 4 and then 9 and 14 and stuff. So give you an extra lesson and get it on track. Okay? So I'll come up with something totally different for you for lesson 25. Okay, because you've got a lot to learn from the other 4 lessons that or 5 lessons that I've shown you now. Okay, so get ready for something totally different.